What is going on, everybody? It is time for your weekly WWE review for last week, 1-9 to 1-11, I think.
Are we gonna start?
Sorry. Shut up. My bad. It's been a busy week for me. I literally just watched NXT today. No, I started NXT. I realized it like halfway through it. I was like, oh crap, I watched half the show already. But I started NXT. I just didn't never get to finish it. And then they had the UK tournament that I had to watch. And then freaking, I still haven't watched TNA yet. Like that's unlike me, but it's been a weird week for me. I don't know why it's been so busy. It's been weird. I went to 2 funerals this week, which I usually don't do.
Most people usually don't.
So I don't know. But anyway, let's jump right into it. Um, let's see. We got Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna try to kind of remember what went down last week because it was last week. so I got Monday Night Raw. I really don't remember what
This is
happened.
why you write down notes.
I still wouldn't remember if I wrote down notes. I still wouldn't remember what happened last week because I just watched Raw. So I'm like, oh yeah, so yeah, and stuff. Um,
That's why you write down notes that you will remember.
that, I guess I enjoyed Raw. I still haven't had that real like, yeah, this was a good show feeling like I had like a couple weeks ago when I was like, man, this show right here, this one, this right here, you know, I haven't had that. But this show was pretty good though. I liked that the Undertaker showed up. I thought that was pretty cool. What was this the show that Brock Lesnar was supposed to show up on and didn't?
I don't think so.
No, I think it was the week before with the double spear thing. But yeah, it's a double spear thing. But yeah, like I mean, it was definitely a decent show with Braun Strowman shenanigans that I still don't really understand. But Braun Strowman just goes around and screams at people. It works. Um, I like that they kind of set up the tag team title match a little bit for this upcoming week / today. I'm glad they kind of set that up a little bit with the Sheamus versus Luke Gallows match, with the kind of one-on-one going to the tag team match coming up. I was excited. I was definitely excited to see the Undertaker. I don't know. I don't know if you felt this way, but like there was something weird about when he said "rest in peace." Did you find something like it was like something he did at the end that he doesn't normally do? He was like "rest in peace." Like it was just something random at the end. He just kind of threw in there because he was like, I'm the Undertaker. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. He just threw in something extra. I was like, okay. Um,
Rest in peace.
I was like, okay. I don't like the Mick Foley job evaluation. There's no consistency with it to me, in my opinion. It's just Stephanie saying, "Hey, I'm McMahon. I can do this." Yeah. I didn't like the job evaluation thing. Like, I get it. It was a cool way to kind of bring Undertaker out and stuff. But like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I think there's just too much Stephanie. Remember when we said we wanted the McMahons off our televisions for a little bit? Let the
Yeah.
general managers kind of do their thing, or I guess they're technically commissioners. The commissioners do their thing, right?
Yeah.
Remember that didn't happen. Now I'm fine with SmackDown because it's a little bit different considering we haven't seen Shane in so long. So I'm fine with SmackDown being how it is, or maybe Shane showing up a little bit more often on SmackDown. But I feel like with Stephanie, like we've seen this story for so long, and the bad part about it is like Stephanie's so confusing as a character. I don't know if you're confused about who she's supposed to be. Cause like half the time she's like happy-go-lucky face, and then like the other half the time she's like typical McMahon heel. Like she's so over the place with her character. I feel like um I definitely like the women's tag team match. I thought it was definitely a good match, and I like how there was kind of branching storylines within it. A good way to not just throw them into the same match we're gonna see later, which they do a lot. The I love the Titus Brand New Day stuff. I think it's hilarious. I freaking I marked out a little bit for the old school tough enough Titus O'Neil footage. That was hilarious. I marked out so hard for that. I was like, yeah. Hashtag put it on the network. Y'all still have it. Like, put it on the network. Y'all still have it. Come on. Um, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. I thought that was freaking hilarious. Um, and then the Chris Jericho becoming United States champion, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, I think the weird part about Chris Jericho becoming the United States champion is I think it sets up Reigns to become the Universal champion. I don't know if you feel that way. I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on that. But I think now too, I think it kind of it go both ways. Now it makes the match a little bit less predictable, so you feel like either one could win. But two, it's one of those situations where it kind of makes you think Reigns might win the Universal title just because he just lost the U.S. title. But I'm definitely it's definitely cool to see Chris Jericho's U.S. title. That's the one title he couldn't ever win. It felt like. But I mean, Raw was definitely it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't that bad. I definitely kind of enjoyed it. Obviously, Hill Neville was great. Emelina's still coming soon. Um, you know, um, this is when the hashtag things that happened before Emelina debuts started from Casey. But yeah, I mean, I mean, Raw was definitely. I think it was better after I went back and looked at it because I think I just watched Raw and I was like, there's too much Monday Night Raw in my mind right now. But I mean, I definitely thought it was a pretty good show. Casey, thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, it
Oh
was.
yeah, and Alicia Fox was there. She was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was all right. I mean, I think a problem with Raw for me is like, yeah, they have HBK and Taker on the show, but I feel like every week kind of feels the same a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that's like, oh my god, this is amazing this week or anything like that. So you kind of like that's why we kind of forget. Okay, was this the week that Lesnar was supposed to be there, or was it last week? They all kind of bleed together, and they need to fix that somehow. But I like in a way I like that Taker and HBK were there, but I feel at the same time I felt like it was too much. Like I get that Raw is the flagship show. That's all we care about is Raw, 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 Raw.
Did you expect them to have an encounter though? I kind of did.
I not really. I just why do they both unless they were going to do something like that, why do they both need to be on Raw? Or why do they both need to be on the same week? I get, weren't they in Texas or something?
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Okay, it's their home states, but really, do they really need to? Um, I forgot where SmackDown was, but why couldn't one be on Raw, one be on SmackDown? I feel like it would have made more sense for Taker to be on SmackDown because he had that thing right before Survivor Series on SmackDown, and they never followed up on that.
Yeah, remember when he was back and then
Yeah.
he left and then
Also, I didn't like the whole. First of all, I thought the job evaluation thing was stupid, but they were building up the whole, Mick Foley knows about Taker. Is Taker going to be here? Why does Mick Foley need to be there to have Taker be there? Why can't Taker just shows up? Like, what? Why does Mick Foley all of a sudden need to summon the Undertaker? Like, that didn't make sense to me. I was like, okay, but
well, Taker doesn't seem like the type of guy who just like talks to you and be like, yeah, talks to you backstage and like, I'm coming to Raw tonight, and I'll be there. Like Taker, like from a character standpoint, doesn't seem like the guy just hanging out saying,
yeah,
yeah, Mick, I'll see you tonight, bruh. Like,
dumb. But as far as too much Stephanie, yeah, I agree. I think it's she's been the one. It feels like she's been constant the entire time. Like since Shane left, it's been nonstop Stephanie for years. And part of it is we haven't seen Shane for a while, so it's okay to kind of see him on SmackDown more often. But also, I feel like Stephanie shoves herself down our throats. Like she's like, I'm Stephanie and I'm the greatest of all time and I need all of your attention, 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 attention. Shane isn't like that. You know, Shane, it feels like Shane cares more about the show rather than I'm Shane McMahon, you know, all the attention you
I'm a McMahon, damn it.
I'm a McMahon, damn it. Like I feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like he's as shoved down our throats as Stephanie is. Um, so I think that kind of helps with Shane. Um, as far as Jericho winning the U.S. title, I was kind of surprised, but you know, they say, or there's rumors that he's going to be leaving again. You know, eventually he's got to retire. You know, he's getting up there in age, and you know, he's one of those guys that deserves it if he wants to retire. But I think it's cool that they gave him the U.S. title. That is the one title that he hasn't won. So I don't necessarily see it being a very long reign. But you know, it's cool that they did, you know, put the title on him. I really hope they don't put the Universal title on Reigns, just because look how terribly they booked him with the U.S. title. Like they could barely even book him with the U.S. title and make it feel like make us care or make it feel legitimate. You know, they're gonna put the Universal title on him, and it's gonna be worse.
I hate to beat a dead horse here,
You
but
love
what? Yeah, I do love him, but I hate to beat a dead horse here, but I think it's only gonna help Reigns if he turns heel and wins the title,
Yeah,
because then that's gonna not only force him into the spotlight, like he's gonna be in the spotlight, he's gonna be the champion. And the one thing about it is, and this is kind of universal, lol, universal throughout all wrestling promotions in general, is the world title is always the spotlight. That like if nothing else is on the show, the world title is going to be on the show.
yeah.
So I mean that'll help, but I think too, if you change his character a little bit, like they have needed to for a long time, I think that helps too. I think that forces him into the spotlight a little bit more too.
Yeah, and I
Or
think
forces more attention on him than the negative attention, because LOL, we hate Reigns.
see the problem with Vince is he wants these guys to, you know, be the face of the company, you know, his cash cows, whatever. He doesn't pay attention to the past. You know, the big faces that, you know, were faces of the company and were, you know, brought him so much money in the past, especially in the Attitude Era, were always heels. He doesn't pay attention to that. Like, if you turn these guys heels, they can still be your, you know, face of your company or that big guy that the fans love. Turn them heel. You know, he doesn't realize that. You know, same thing with Cena. You know, he tried to shove him down our throats for so long, and he was a face the whole time. Like, we wanted a heel turn, and I don't necessarily think with Cena it would change much at this point because, you know, LOL, Cena sucks. But I think it would help Roman if they turned him heel. I think a lot of more fans would like him. You know, change his character up a little bit. Well, you know, I don't know. It's just Vince doesn't pay attention to what worked in the past.
And even if they just give him some nuances just of his own, just pull him out of the tag team gimmick is all you got to do. I mean, like, realistically, like, if they didn't change a lot and just if they did something subtle, like just change what he wears, that'll at least make people take notice that he's different from what he was. Now, obviously, with that, like, obviously things will start to change. But anyway,
take the if nothing else, take the vest off. You can keep the pants, you can all that. Take the stupid vest off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, and like the vest isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think he needs to wrestle in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially it doesn't make sense to me because Vince likes the big muscular guys, and that's what Roman Reigns is. But he has this chest protector on him, So what's the point of having a big muscular guy if you're just gonna put like a big chest protector on him? He'd probably put elbow pads on him if he could, and like shoulder pads, and because you got to protect your guy.
All right, let's jump into SmackDown Live. I was excited that the Ambrose Asylum was back. I was. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that Ambrose gave back the Miz Participation Award. I thought that was freaking hilarious. Casey, did you see that the Cowboys Miz Participation Award that I sent out yesterday?
No.
Somebody had made a picture where they had put a Miz Participation Award, and the caption was like for the Dallas Cowboy fans or something like that. It was pretty funny, but I thought that was funny that he gave that back. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, Nikki Bell in Italian. Anyway, Kalisto and Dolph Ziggler. I'm liking Dolph Ziggler as a heel. I don't know, like Dolph Ziggler as a heel is kind of weird right now because like it still feels like he's unsure about being a heel. Unsure about his actions to a certain degree. I felt like, especially in the interview with I think it was Charlie. Was it Charlie Caruso or was it Renee Young?
It was one of them.
Yeah, one of the ladies in the back. I like that the Wyatt family kind of got their rematch of the titles. And I like that they create another storyline for the Wyatts now, by having them lose and have the miscommunication and everything. I think that helps out. I think that they don't really do that enough. Like, you get out of a feud, with the titles, and then like, bye, see you later. Like you never see the freaking team again. How often are we seeing Heath Slater and Rhino anymore? But I want to see how they're going to do this. Obviously they're going with some sort of breakup. Like, and I'm not sure. I wonder because I don't know if you were thinking this, but I was expecting Bray to kind of side with Randy Orton just because. I don't know. I just thought well, number one because Luke Harper kicked him, but
yeah.
But Daniel Bryan announcing the women's steel cage match. I'm excited for that. I want to see what how that's going to go. I think that's this upcoming Tuesday, so tomorrow day. But I'm excited. I want to see how that's gonna play out. If it is like tomorrow day, as I'm calling it now, why didn't they just have it at Rumble?
Because LOL logic.
like I get it. Like, you want SmackDown to be must see and all of this.
SmackDown's already more must see than Raw.
I mean, yeah, but like I'm just like, Rumble's in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks. It's a steel cage match. Like, why not just have it at Rumble? You want to push this women's revolution, evolution, pollution thing, whatever you're calling it now. You want to push it, but then you keep giving your big matches away for free. Like, this isn't TNA where they don't do pay-per-views all the time, so it's one of your big 4 pay-per-views. Why not? And then the John Cena Baron Corbin match, I liked it. I liked it. I still like that Baron Corbin's putting himself in the main event picture, at least saying I belong here. I like that, because a lot of times I think even with the NXT guys, they kind of get lost in the shuffle too, and at least they're trying to push Baron Corbin for 2 months. Taking that Jack Swagger build, But I definitely like SmackDown. Like Casey said, like, a lot of people think SmackDown hasn't changed that much, and I disagree, but I agree with it, because like I don't think it's necessarily changed, but I think there's a reason to watch SmackDown now. With the brand split, there's a reason. There's different people, there's different storylines, there's there's different stuff to actually. There's actually something to watch on SmackDown now, whereas before SmackDown was kind of Raw 2.0.
I
I don't know. Yeah.
and I think with SmackDown, yeah, it hasn't changed, but I don't think the majority of it. I don't think needed to change. Before it was more wrestling than 20-minute opening segments and video packages like Raw is. It was just it was back before the brand split. It was just the same matches that we had seen on Raw again. Um, so with the matches, it hasn't changed. Like we're still getting. It feels like more wrestling on SmackDown than we do on Raw. It just it makes sense now. It's not just the same matches from Raw over again, where the Raw 2.0 kind of comes in. But I did like SmackDown. Great. I like the video package of the feud between Ambrose and Miz so far. I like how that's coming along. I I love how Natty attacked Nikki backstage right before the commercial break, and before their match, and it looks like she couldn't, like she wouldn't be able to even make the match or compete. Then we come back from commercial, and Nikki just completely John Cena's it and no sells. Like she had her hand on her thigh slightly, but she wasn't selling it at all. And I'm like, but before you were, and but why? Just at least limp for at least limp.
Well, WWE tells their wrestlers not to sell, right?
Yeah. Um, as for the Dolph Ziggler heel turn, I like that they are trying to turn him heel. I just don't like the kind of heel that he is kind of being portrayed as. It's like, it's like a confused heel, or like, it's like he's questioning what he's doing. I want him to be more of just an angry heel,
Yeah. Well, I feel like you can't completely turn and then be like, oh, oh wait, I don't know yet. Like, right, like you can't,
Yeah.
like you can't start cooking the meal and then halfway through be like, let me put it back in the freezer. No, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's weird. I I also love WWE's genius plans. They take three superstars that fans complain only get buried with Ziggler, Apollo, and Kalisto. They put them in a feud together, so either way, at least one of them still gets buried. Uh, How does this help any of them in the long run? One of them is still gonna get, two of them are still gonna get the short end of the stick.
Let's be honest, probably Kalisto and Cruz.
It just is dumb. They need to put them in separate feuds where they can actually, be built up. Maybe, I don't know. The fans like them, so how about you push them? But no, WWE wouldn't do that. Um, but yeah, those were the main points. And I didn't think there was anything amazing on SmackDown this week, but still, in general, feels like a better show than Raw.
Yeah.
Moving on to 205 Live. Which
was it live?
It's still live right now.
Okay.
Actually, if you go watch it, it's live. It'll say it, and it's live. I like the recap of the Noam Dar, Cedric Alexander, Alicia Fox storyline so far.
You mispronounced it.
I'm sorry, Alicia Fox.
like I love the video packages like for that feud just so I can say Alicia like multiple times. Like that's
Yeah. I loved the kiss. The kiss was hilarious. Noam Dar's just reaction was amazing. We got Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. I love Noam Dar's promo But afterwards, it I don't know if you felt like it, but there was this awkward and kind of too silent moment after his promo. Like he was supposed to be closer to the ring at the end of his promo or something because he just stopped as he continued to walk down to the ring, and I'm like, okay, it was weird. Um, all he really needed to say though was Alicia. Oh, that should be his promo from now on. That's it. I did like I did like the viciousness from Cedric. These two had a couple shots in this match that looked and sounded so intense. Just the sound that they made. I was ow. Alicia pulls Noam Dar out of the way of a moonsault by Cedric, causing Noam Dar to then get the win. So that kind of throws a little wrench in the plan there. Later on, let me see if I wrote anything later on about the. Oh yeah, I did. But moving on, we got. I love Kalisto's explanation of the soon debuting Akira Tozawa. Again, I like that they're for these guys that are kind of doing on 205 Live. I like when they have guys who have faced them before.
Except Sean Maluta, they just throw him on there and be like,
yeah. Well, that's because he's too good. Describe that. You can't describe that. I love how Kalisto's like in a head-on collision, and I'm like, no. That is
like
something that's happening.
The funny part was, like, you know how they were like, they're like, the newest, the newest, signee or whatever, for 205 Live, and it goes to Kalisto. I'm like, Kalisto's going to 205 Live? Like, I don't know why it caught me off guard, but it did.
And then we get match of the night: the Brian Kendrick versus Sean Maluta. This still doesn't get an entrance. Yeah. God. But I do think this may have been the longest Sean Maluta match I've ever seen. And it wasn't even that long, but it was the longest we've seen in WWE so far, I feel like. I don't know. I thought it was a good match. I just felt like they should have booked Sean Maluta to win this match. Not because, I think they hate him, but it would have, I feel like it would have got into Kendrick's head and it could have played more into kind of storyline wise. So confident and then kind of put that doubt in his head a little bit. I think that would have been smart, but they hate Sean Maluta, so why would they do that? Why would you do that? And then the beautiful Alicia Fox is officially on the market. That meltdown though, that meltdown.
I was like, she had that meltdown. I'm like, yeah, back to the crazy Alicia Fox again.
I swear, they give her two characters: either dating somebody or crazy. That's it. That's it. That's all she gets. And then Jack Gallagher and Mr. Daivari have a parlay. This was the greatest contract signing of all time. This contract signing was for an I forfeit match. This man, Daivari, had the nerve, the gall. Jack's trusty umbrella. That you don't throw a man's umbrella. You don't do that. Okay. I'm so excited for this I forfeit match though. Um, and then we had Rich Swann versus Tony Nese, the main event. I thought it was a pretty good match. You know, we didn't get to see in that awful suit, but thoughts on 205 Live?
um, yeah, I love the backstage segment this week. The backstage segments this week. Alicia Fox, Alicia. Uh, love the video package. It just like like I'm like I was watching this. I'm like I want to be like Noam Dar when I grow up. Like next year I'll talk to him and be like I would talk to him just like that. Like because obviously he's winning. You know he got the kiss and all. So and then on Raw and stuff. But anyway, we'll get to that next week. Um, anyway, um, I enjoyed the match between these two. I think they work very well together. Um, I'm just kind of curious to see which, because obviously they're gonna have the title match for the cruiserweight championship, but I'm trying to figure out which feud they're gonna go with next.
Yeah.
You know that's kind of my next thing. Like, yes, Gallagher and Daivari have been kind of the big thing, but then because they're having the I forfeit match next week, that kind of cancels that out. You know, it takes that away. Obviously, they're gonna put Sean Maluta on there. You know, he's gonna be on the Rumble. You know, he's gonna be on the Rumble. I mean, like let's be honest, guys. Um,
He's going to be entered in the Royal Rumble. Still not getting an entrance.
they're gonna go to commercial during his entrance. Like they're gonna go to commercial during his entrance. They don't have commercials during pay per view, so. Like,
He's going to
but,
be sitting ringside the whole night, just waiting.
but anyway, Brian Kendrick versus Sean Maluta. Yeah, why they gotta hate this man so much? Why? They talk down to this man. They act like this man don't exist. Like why? Why they gotta do this man like this? He a good fella. He is a good fella. He was in that match with Coda. He was in that match. Damn it, dang on it. The parlay was hilarious. I like Jack Gallagher's spins on everything. The parlay, the duel, the I forfeit match to end the feud. I just it kind of makes you interested to see what he's gonna do next, as far as like when in his next feud, what he's gonna do. I still like Daivari's reactions. I like the freaking. I don't know if this is on Raw on the next or on 205 Live, but I like the red. I don't know what the headdress is that Daivari wears. I can't remember what it's called right offhand, but I like the red though. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that looks pretty cool. And then the Rich Swann Tony Nese match. I love this match. I think I like it because it allows Rich Swann to kind of prepare for Neville without actually facing Neville 8,000 times. Because Tony Nese is very similar to Neville. Not necessarily. I don't think Tony Nese necessarily is as much of a high flyer as Neville, but you know, they're strength wise, they're about to. You know, they're very similar. But yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed 205 Live this week. It was a good show. I mean, I think 205 Live is a good like supporting thing for Raw.
Yeah. Except it's after SmackDown.
Yeah, you know. I mean, but the only thing, yeah, the only thing about that I do like is that it exposes the cruiserweights to more than just the Raw fans. Now I know, like for the most part, everybody watches both, but at least for the live crowd, you know, it exposes them not only to the Raw fans but the SmackDown fans, which I think is actually kind of decently cool.
That is true. That's true. But next we go to NXT. The X. Were you done with 205 Live?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Not that I care, but
you do. That's why you asked.
A little bit, NXT got a video package to hype up the NXT Tag Team rematch. They also showed footage of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce attacking Asuka before the show outside. I kind of like this, Asuka being such a dominant champion. They obviously Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are heels, so this is something that they would do. and I feel like we haven't really seen something like this in a while. I think we saw this with was it the Revival and Big Cass and Enzo? I think.
Yeah, and then we saw it with Joe and Hideo. I think was it Joe?
Yeah, yeah. But we haven't seen it with the women, so I actually like
Yeah.
that. But then we get to open the show, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce versus Macy Evans and Sarah Bridges. Sarah Bridges, aka Crazy Mary Dobson, which I knew they would change, but I'm surprised they're using her real name. Usually WWE, you know, changes, like will take your prior ring name and give you a different ring name. I'm surprised because Sarah Bridges is her real name. I'm surprised they're using her real name. Jobber match as usual, but I wasn't really surprised. But after the match, they Peyton Royce and Billie Kay cut a promo on Asuka saying her title belongs to them. Asuka comes out and limping and gets beat up more. Surprisingly, Nikki Cross comes out to kind of help Asuka, and then out of nowhere delivers a drop kick to Asuka from the second rope. So um, you knew she was gonna kind of officially putting herself in the title picture right there, as we expected with the backstage stuff that we had been seeing for a while there. So I like that. Backstage, then Nikki Cross with Sanity says, she's going to take the NXT Women's Championship, and EY says that's where they are going to start. Then the camera pans over to Big Damo, who is just kind of randomly standing there. I was like, so were they not supposed to notice him? Like, did they not? That's a big man.
I
Like,
mean, it's in his name, So
that's a large human being that he would. It was just weird. And that freaking Elias Sampson singing is so bad. It's so bad.
Is it bad? I love it. Like, is it bad? Yeah, I love it. It like just helps the heel persona so much.
So it's so painful.
It's bad, but I love it. Like it helps the heel persona so
It does, but oh god, they could help it some other way, any other way. Oh, but we got Elias Sampson versus Jonathan Cruz. I'm pretty sure he's related to Apollo. I think they're like brothers or something.
What about Victor? Is he related to Victor? Victor Cruz?
Probably. I think they're all related. Yeah, Tom Cruise. I think they're all related. Yeah, but
No, he can't be related to Apollo Luz. Like,
yeah, no, you're right. Well, I mean, he did lose. So,
it takes after his protege.
but yeah, basically another jobber match. Elias Sampson, they just hate him. Like, he's a legitimate heel. People legitimately hate him, and for that aspect, it's great. But go away. We get a Takeover Brooklyn recap of DIY and versus the Revival, where the Revival did retain their titles. They cheated.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're right. They cheated. Like it's. We get Andrade Cien Almas versus Oni Lorcan. I was excited. I love seeing Oni Lorcan, and it really felt like the fans were behind him. Like, he felt like the fan favorite, which is kind of weird, just because they, unless you know him, like, they really haven't pushed him that much. It doesn't feel like. So just the fans being so behind him was a little bit weird, but I definitely liked it. This was a rematch of a match they had in Japan that I believe they showed on the network. I feel like this was one of the matches that.
Yeah, they when they showed it, what was it? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, the fans were really behind Oni Lorcan in this match, which I loved. Um, it was just a really good match. I definitely, I'm liking Almas with this heel character that they're building up. I love that they're hopefully starting to push Oni Lorcan to, his own kind of storyline, which they definitely need to do. They need to not, rely on as much as I love, EY and Bobby Roode and all them. They need to not rely on them as much because eventually they're going to be going up to the main roster, and then you're going to be in that spot again where you haven't had guys built up. You're going to have to go out and sign another pre-built talent. You know what I mean? So they definitely need to start building these guys. And I think Oni Lorcan would be a good one to kind of start building up because he, has so much experience in the indies and everything. We had another recap video of Takeover Toronto where the Revival lost. They lost. They did not win.
Robbery.
The loss. Not just once but twice. They lost twice. It was 2 times. Two times in one night they lost in the same match. It was beautiful. We got a Shinsuke Nakamura interview. I didn't really write too much about it. But then we get the NXT Tag Team Championship rematch, the Revival versus DIY. Really, really good match. I honestly thought DIY would lose and have, and move to the main roster because I think they're ready. But they do retain, which was kind of weird. Like they need to do something with one of these teams other than rematch again, rematch again, rematch again. Like move one of
Did
them.
this rematch feel random to you?
It did. It did.
Like I knew they were like building it up and everything, but I was like there's no like story. Like I mean, I get like the initial storyline that was there, but like it's not like they've been like having encounters like the past couple weeks or anything.
Yeah. But after the match, the Authors of Pain music hits. Gargano and Ciampa see Paul Ellering on the ramp and get attacked by from behind by Akam and Razor. So, I guess they're officially going to be moving on to that feud now.
So DIY's gonna lose.
Probably. But I don't know what I'm wondering what they're gonna do with the Revival. But because I've heard that they're not in the finishing class in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess they're in the next level, like right before the finishing class or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with them now.
Well, they gotta promote them, or they're gonna flop on the main roster like everyone else from NXT does.
Yeah.
Everyone else who's not like already a star.
Yeah.
Because they're good. Like they're a really good tag team as far as like heel psychology and everything. But like they're gonna have to promote them. Promote the no flip just fist something or something like promote them as a different tag team.
The least they can do is start doing video packages for guys that are going to be coming up to the main roster. Like before they had NXT, and new people came in, they would have like coming soon, video packages or, hype video packages. So we didn't necessarily know a lot about them, but we at least expected them, got an idea, and they just don't do that anymore. They just throw them in the main roster and you should know these guys because you should be subscribed to the network and watch everything on there. So there they are. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. And then next, William Regal announces that at TakeOver San Antonio, DIY will defend their NXT Tag Team titles against the Authors of Pain. And also next week will be the NXT Championship contract signing. Asuka comes in demanding that Regal make an NXT Women's Championship match at TakeOver San Antonio against Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. So we will be getting a fatal four-way for the women's title, which I'm excited for. This one I'm honestly curious about. You know, are they finally going to have Asuka drop the title? And if they do, who's she gonna drop it to?
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
You don't want Billie Kay or Peyton Royce to have the title.
Okay, but like Oscar can't lose though. Like Oscar's gotta like die. like somebody gotta kill her. Like they gotta strip the title from her.
That
like,
escalated quickly.
like she's the best in the world, darn it. She can't lose. She gotta win.
Thoughts on NXT that aren't murder?
um, yeah, I definitely I like the Billie Kay Peyton Royce attack. Um, I think it makes a lot of sense. The dominant champion. Especially if your heels take her out before she even can even get in the building. I really like the follow up with that too. I like the follow up. With Oscar coming out there and struggling to get down there, and obviously the numbers game gets her and she's injured. And then Nikki Cross coming out to help, but then making sure she makes a statement too. I like that a lot. Thought that was really cool. Elias Sampson, I love this man. I love this man. I don't care what anybody says. I love this man. He can't sing or a lick, but daggone it, this man gets heel heat, and I love it. Like this man gets some nuclear heat, and I love it. CN versus Oni Lorcan. I still don't know what they're doing with CN. Like they're like, yeah, let's turn a heel. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like that's pretty much it. Like they haven't really built on it any. I don't feel like. Because to be honest, he should have been in a feud with Cedric Alexander. That would have made more sense. But they had to do the Alicia Fox storyline, so I get it. But I hope they do something with his heel thing, Mama Bopper. I definitely like the match. I mean, I thought it was a good match. I just don't feel like they're doing anything with CN right now. And they need to do something, like just even if it's like a I'm going after the title feud that that basically like puts him kind of in a feud that's not in directly with the title, but like with somebody that's like kind of contend or something. I mean, it would make sense to put him in a feud with Ty Dillinger, so at least you know that's. I mean, if nothing else, he'll get legit heel heat from that. The NXT Tag Team Title match, I definitely liked it. I just didn't. I just thought it was really random. Like it was, they built it up well. Like they made it feel like it was, oh my god, what a match, But I just felt like it was just kind of random. There wasn't really any reason for it. And I'm kind of, in that place where it's kind of like, well, what happens next? But I mean, I like the NXT this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Masters of Pain. Yeah, yeah. I like that they attacked at the end, put themselves in the title picture, like that a lot. I was like, yeah, okay. Razor and Akam about to take them titles. 3-minute warning about to come in and take them titles. Hello.
I mean, you're hosting.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, because you've been doing the last two shows. Like, okay, where you go though? Where you at though? Like, anyway, that was your weekly WWE review for 1/9 through 1/11. Next week we're gonna have it earlier because the struggle was real. Like it just was. The struggle was real. It wasn't my fault. Hang on it. My DVR messed up. Is what it was. See, I mean, shut up. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. We do hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you guys for the next weekly WWE review. I don't know if we're gonna do TNA this week. I just don't. we're gonna do this week's TNA, but we might just combine the two. Because I still haven't watched it yet because it's not on my DVR. So, so what
It was real good.
was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably just not gonna review it
Because it was real good, and we should.
because it's gonna be irrelevant by the time we review it, like this. like, like, anyway, but yeah, that's about it. Be sure to subscribe, share the video, like the video, send it to your friends and your family, and enjoy it together as a family. We a family show around here sometimes. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was your weekly WWE review on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only